Hey, what's going on, ladies and gentlemen? My name is Rayge, and we are back today to go over now Nodes 4 and Nodes 8 for the Shadow King Trials that I was able to complete at difficulty 15 with the majority of the packs activated aside from the HP boost. Now, you'll find out with these nodes, I think this is probably the second easiest section of all the nodes, but you need proper preparation. What do I mean by that? Well, make sure that you use Nightcrawler in Node 1 because you need his ultimate from the get-go with the start of Node 4. If you don't have it, it's going to be very, very tough. Just because you have to get through all the Sentinels, and there's a slew of enemies that we have to take down. I also want to point out, many of these characters are actually very accessible if you already, brought them into Dark Dimension 7 for Mephisto. Lady Deathstrike is a staple for Orcus raids. I already mentioned Nightcrawler. We have Val actually being utilized in Dark Dimension, and as well as the Mystic Orcus nodes if you haven't already capitalized on Night Stalkers. It still has value in DD7 as well. Thanos Endgame, you need him obviously if you're planning to go through these trials anyways with the Annihilators team, so it just makes sense to double dip. And then I was using Vulture and as well as Black Cat, both as kind of pivot characters here because, honestly, there's so many good characters that you can utilize, but I wanted to choose the ones that were geared up the highest. So, without further ado, let me show you the gameplay here now for Nodes 4 and Nodes 8, which are not bad at all. Okay, so as I alluded to earlier, this is the 5-piece team first. This time I'm using Vulture because if he goes down, it doesn't matter because we have the better Black Cat actually for the next node. So again, as I mentioned, start things off with Nightcrawler's ultimate. That's really the only way you can start this off. And then we go down the right side there with Vulture special. And there's a lot of good damage to be had here with Lady Deathstrike. Now keep in mind, because we're also using her in the global villains, you definitely do want to be mindful of not leaving her too badly in a position of cooldowns, but many of her abilities are actually pretty low cooldown as well. She just has really good synergy with the Cabal team as well, so I don't think this is gonna be an issue, but she really hits like a truck against this this Orcus team that we're facing up against. And then when you do get a chance here with Vulture, if you have access to him, use his ultimate to turn me a rewind. And we're in a good position because the cool thing about this is we're casting exposure. Remember, Thanos Endgame can generate an ability energy for Val, and every time there is an exposed character getting hit, Val's also getting energy. So it's just a really beautiful synergy that we have. The big problem with this wave, I think, is going to be the Omega Sentinel. It does spawn because she has the passive attack. So I don't hesitate. I use Val's ultimate because later on you can build her up at energy again anyways with Thanos Endgame, so it's not a big issue. And then we go down the left side now with Lady Deathstrike special. So again, I think the problem with this node specifically is going to be when Omega does spawn. There's a bit of Orcus synergy there. The Sentinels can also get in the way if you don't stop them from obviously using their buffs and taunts at the very beginning. Hence why super duper important to use that Nightcrawler ultimate, because if you don't, I can't even imagine how you would actually get through this, with these, right? As you can see, I'm just rolling with it right now just because of the synergy that this team has. At this point, you should be able to use your Vulture ultimate once again. So yeah, just honestly, just so much synergy with this team. They're working so well together. And then the other thing too, do not hesitate to land your stuns on the Nimrods. Now, I think there was a run I was doing and I underestimated them. I was just using basic attacks to finish up this node. No. If you have a Thanos stun, use it. Stop their attacks because these Nimrods absolutely hit like a truck. So you also want to just be focusing them, and it's not going to matter anyways with Thanos Endgame's stun because you can easily generate his ability energy back. So it's not an issue whatsoever. One Nimrod stun here at the very end, and then you can focus on the other one, and then as well take advantage of the exposure, right? Make sure you're using that to generate ability energy. Boom, just like that, easy node 4 finish. Now let's go over here to node 8 for the second node with this team. Yeah, for this node, honestly, not too much to say. I mean, just be mindful of the fact that if you're using Thanos Endgame again, like myself, just be careful where he's kind of situated in terms of HP. Well, we were able to start things off once again with Nightcrawler's ultimate, given the way we ended the previous node, right? So with this one, I don't know. I just don't feel like there was a lot of thought into this node because, these are some dated characters that we're up against. Obviously, a lot of X-Men characters, Gambit's pings do hurt here and there, but I mean, we just have such a strong synergistic team here with these Brawler non-mythic characters that it didn't really make sense to me the placement here. There wasn't really anything, that was kind of detrimental in the wave. So you can see a big Thanos Endgame ultimate to get things going there, removing the buffs. But as well, if Thanos does go down, he's gonna trigger his passive anyways, and that gives us great position. Hence why I like using him for these nodes, because you can almost kind of use that every time that he's in battle. But Black Cat's brought together here for some natural crowd controlling aspects. And once again, when you come to this last wave, this is where you can kind of start building up things again. So feel free to use the stun, cast the exposure. You can generate some ability energy. Obviously, we control Rogue from the very beginning, so she's not really getting a turn. But remember, most of these characters aren't coming into another node after this, so you can use all their abilities if you want. Only exception, obviously, is making sure your Thanos endgame is in a healthy position for the last and final node. So this is the last time you can use Lady Deathstrike too, so feel free to just go ham on her abilities. Maybe don't go too fast if you want to buy a little bit more time for some of your characters, but otherwise, yeah, I mean, there's just really nothing to this node. It almost felt like just, laziness, brain fart. They didn't want to put anything else extra because they had some other focuses for the Shadow King event. But yeah, that in a nutshell is Nodes 4, Nodes 8. Once again, using Brawler characters, non-mythic. And guys, like I said earlier, if you want the proper setup, make sure you're using Nightcrawler in some way, shape, or form for the Node 1. So that way you can start things off once again with the Node 4 Ultimate. And I think that's really the pain point for a lot of folks that did not know that going forward. Hopefully this is helpful. Hopefully this is insightful. Good luck with your Shadow King run. Let me know what you guys think in comments below. Thank you for your time as always, and I'll catch you guys in the next one.